we're actually going to welcome two wonderful people to join us here in La Nave, who are going to discuss this with another guest who is joining us virtually. So first of all, I'll welcome our real-world guests, who are Sergio González Sainz from SimpleCloud, and Mariano Martínez, who is a Director of Partnerships at Telefónica. Welcome both.
Thank you.
Bienvenidos. And we are going to welcome a virtual guest, who is Alberto Martínez Guerrero from Streamloots. Okay, nice to see you. Hello and welcome. Hey, Alberto. Because you're joining us virtually, I'm going to start with you, if that's okay. Gaming, as we've seen, is a really big deal in 2020. The sector is already bigger than music and movies combined, and many predict that esports is going to be the biggest format in entertainment. How would you recommend that people can make a living from their passion?
Well, there are a few different ways to make a living from video games, but the important thing is it's not about playing video games, it's about creating entertainment. So you can do this in two different ways. The first one is creating competition around the games, and the second one is creating fun and interesting content around the game that people is like looking forward to consume. The first one is really similar to traditional sport. Like, there's a lot of people playing football, for example. In fact, I can go out and play football, but I'm not going to make a living because I going out and play football. So you need to be the best one, or at least one of the best, to make a living from it. Because at the end, when you are the best, teams hire you to play for them. And they have money to pay you because actually they have an audience. They have like a lot of people that enjoy and are entertained by that competition that you are creating. So in esports, it works exactly the same. If you are going to make a living from competition, you need to be one of the top players in the world, and teams are going to pay you to entertain the audience. There are two big difference, which is basically that on esports, there's a private company owning the game, and also that it does not require like physical abilities, right? And the other part, like, hey, how can you make money with esport if you are not a top player? Well, at the end, it's all about what we mentioned before. It's about creating entertainment. So there's a lot of people creating engaging content while playing video game, even if they are not the best player, because they are fun, because they are smart, because they have charisma. So they're basically competing with Netflix or with television or even with YouTube or any social media. Viewers have a limited amount of time to consume content. So these gamers or creators are competing with all of those platforms that give content to viewers.
Real quick, how does Streamloots fit into this picture that you've just painted?
Well, at the end, I mentioned before that like creators have become like a new way of entertainment, and they are competing with Netflix or television. But in order to do that, they need to make a living from it. And this is exactly what we do. They gather big and super engaged audiences from like TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or Twitch. And once they gather that audience, we help them monetize that audience. Basically, what we are trying to do is like we are driving a shift in work from traditional like employment arrangements to self-employment that allows greater autonomy and monetization of like uniqueness and creativity of scales. Basically, we are trying to give creators the opportunity to directly communicate with their audience and add value directly to that audience by allowing their fans to purchase real-time interaction with them. The fans can purchase things like I play a game with you, or like I make you play blindfolded for 2 minutes, I send you a dedicated video. Everything is possible. At the end, the fans are looking forward to pay for some second of attention of the influencer, and we give the influencer the tools to allocate that attention properly.
Fascinating. Thank you so much, Alberto. That was brilliant. Okay, how interesting. So we're going to come to yourself next, Sergio. Now, we're looking at remote working. It's the new normal, but this is something that's gone on in the content creation industries with round-the-clock production for a while. There's issues to take into account like content security, proprietary code. How is this helping bring us into a new world where people are working remotely? And what do you want to share about that world?
Well, I think COVID has changed completely how we work and how we live. And even when this all passes, that will happen.
Yes.
I think nobody will see the world in the same way, because even for an environmental perspective, air is cleaner right now, right? Because there are less cars. So I think from a society perspective, there is a need for telework and a need to find new ways of working. When it comes to content creation, and especially video games, people tend to think that playing the game is the same as creating the game. It's not the same at all. I mean, one thing is, creating a game is like a big production. It takes lots of people. It takes lots of time, and also it's very variant. I mean, there's a lot of changes while you are actually creating games, and adapting your investment, your requirements, let's say, easily into that production is really a threat. It's really a trend. I mean, something that is difficult to achieve. Yes. So I think platforms, the cloud is the solution for this. I mean, clearly the cloud is the solution for this. But how you use the cloud and how you are accessing the cloud is something that is the difference between being successful in the cloud and being successful in this new way of working or not.
Yeah.
So,
and have you seen demand for your cloud-based solutions accelerate during the pandemic?
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, it has grown a lot. I mean, we focus not only in video games, also in media and entertainment, and also in architecture, engineering, education. Yeah. But at the end, it's about using the technology for creating the content with known applications. So don't reinvent the wheel. It's like if you have people with talent creating content in market, let's say, wide applications. What the cloud should look for is to provide a proper way to use those applications so the users can actually just extend what they know easily.
Thank you. That's absolutely fascinating. So we're going to move to yourself, Mariano. Now, as I like to call it, the world has really evolved to a species of phono sapien where everyone is doing everything on their mobile device. So obviously, you've got a really unique view on this whole world of consumer trends because everyone has a mobile phone. How do you see consumer trends in gaming from the viewpoint of a telecommunications company?
Okay, thank you for having me here. Definitely. Mobile gaming has been an incredible phenomenon. So Fortnite, or PUBG, or Guerrero, Free Fire. So that's, for me, we'll see a lot of evolution in mobile. For me, for us, mainly the key or more important change is going to be in the cloud gaming. Cloud gaming it will represent a total new model for consumers. It will be the same transformation that we saw in the music or in the video streaming is going to happen in the video gaming industry. So for telecommunications company, cloud gaming is probably the main use case for new technologies, connectivity. In terms of connectivity, 5G or edge computing are going to benefit of this connectivity. So we are trying to not just offering the best gaming experience in terms of connectivity, but also offer to the consumers that, for instance, when they are home, they can prioritize the traffic to gaming so they can have a better experience, or maybe very simple, they can open the ports in the router for gaming. So that's something that will happen now. So that's a very important transformation for consumer adoption.
Fantastic. So the future is going to be anything but boring. My goodness, we're in for some exciting times. Thank you so much to Mariano, Sergio, and Alberto for joining us virtually. That was absolutely fascinating. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.